Hey folks, Angelique Weiley here talking about our topic today, which is public speaking. Now, I get nervous when I do public speaking. I have talked in front of 10, 50, 100, 500 people in presentations before myself. I have run countless a number of meetings and I still get nervous. Heck, I'm nervous doing some of these videos for you. But the thing is that's got to get over your nerves is that you are the subject matter expert. So no matter what you say, you obviously know more about the subject than the people who are listening to you. So that's number one. I mean, you've got to be able to cope with those fears and your nerves because you're the one that's speaking and people are there to listen to you and listen to what you have to say. So if you change your mindset about public speaking and understand that people are there to listen to you, it might help you get over some of those fears. So that's really, really important. So as many times as I've spoken, I still get the butterflies in my stomach, and that's a-okay. But you need to figure out how to get over that. So I'm here to help you guys today kind of figure out a little bit how to get into your public speaking style. So first off, plan ahead. Okay, you guys are subject matter experts on what you're speaking about. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't practice and plan ahead a ton. You can write note cards out. I don't suggest ever reading from them when you are up there speaking. That's not very professional. People get very bored with people just, reading off of notes. But practice and plan ahead. Know exactly what you're going to speak about, kind of what kind of order you're going to speak about it in, and then practice. Whether it's in front of your family or friends or have some people help you out, do it in front of a mirror. And when I say practice, I'm talking like a week's worth, 2 weeks worth of practice over and over and over again. Make sure that you are not reading your notes when you're up there. So you want to be able to practice the material enough where you know it and you know what you're speaking about. Because that is what people are expecting you to do, is to know your material. So, and then also when you start off your speaking, make sure to try to save questions for last. Because if you are in a mindset that you know what you're speaking of and then people interrupt you in the middle of it with questions, it very much throws you off. And that can make you even more nervous because you were not prepared for those questions. So make sure you do a question and answer time at the end of your speaking or your presentation. So then that way it kind of centers you and it balances you out a little bit more. Another thing is engage your audience. It's a-okay to ask them questions about something you may have talked about 5 minutes ago. That way it makes them accountable and makes sure that they're listening to you. And you can tell jokes, kind of engages people. Don't just be monotone and just be up there like a robot talking and blah, 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 because people are going to fall asleep. And make sure you keep the jokes clean if you're going to do jokes. Unless you're a comedian. But if you're doing a speaking engagement for business or for work or for church or a school event or something, you probably need to keep it clean. Slow down also. A lot of people may not be able to catch up with you, and when you're nervous you could be talking a million miles an hour. So they will think, oh my goodness, I totally just missed everything she just said. Make sure that you are thinking positive during your entire speech. Do not accuse. Don't be judgmental. Be careful about stereotyping because you never know who's in the audience. You have to be general to the whole public with what you say. So just make sure that it's positive and you don't have a tone about it. Also, something that you need to be careful of is your body gestures. If you think about it, your body language carries off in the same way as your words and your tone do. So if I stood up there like this the entire time with closed gestures, it's not open, it's not inviting. So be more open with your hands and your arms and lift them up. And that's very positive. People who always just have their hands in their pockets the whole time they speak. That's probably not a good idea. Be more open and talk with your hands. Now, I'm not talking about being crazy, your hands all over the place the whole time. Maybe just have them crossed a little bit in front of your tummy, or open, or, make sure you're not pointing at people. Pointing people out also can have a negative connotation to it. Be careful for fidgeting, and swaying back and forth while you're talking, saying a lot. Here I just said or ah. Have you ever been in an audience and you counted how many times somebody said or ah? I've done that. Okay, so it's kind of annoying or funny to people who are in the audience and you say It's okay to say once in a while throughout your speech if you're at a breaking point or a point that you need to regroup your thoughts. But to say every third word throughout your whole speech is kind of funny. A lot of people get dry mouth also while they're talking. Now, this is pretty common because you are talking and you're nervous at the same time, so your mouth dries out. Well, a tip that I learned through some of my public speaking classes I've done is just to take a second and pause. And it's okay because people, you look at President Obama, he does it all the time. He pauses. And it's to kind of regroup his thoughts for a second. But also, at the same time, if you lift your tongue up in your mouth, it creates saliva in your mouth and it gets rid of your dry mouth. So just do it for a second. You see how it created saliva underneath your tongue, and that just got rid of your dry mouth. So practice that, okay? Think positive, cope with your nerves, try not to sway back and forth. If you're on a stage, it's okay to walk back and forth, but not nervously. You don't want to look like a bunny rabbit up there jumping around. So hopefully that'll help you in your public speaking endeavors. And hopefully I gave you some really good advice, and you can go home and practice everything that I just talked about. Good luck, and I expect to see you guys on stage someday. Have a great day.